maps. As you know, I love maps. So today I'm going to talk about 7 different maps, including how much money from your paycheck is taken out for taxes in each state. What are the cultural regions in the United States? How are the cultural regions broken down? What's the most common last name in the United States? And a few others. So let's dive in. So home affordability in the United States. So on this map, you can see what the median new home price is and then the percentage of homeowners who can afford that price in their state. So the state with the most people who can afford is going to be Delaware right here. Their average median home price is $139,000 and 69% of people can afford that. The lowest is going to be Vermont up here with $476,000 as the median new home price, and it's showing only 16% can afford that. Where I live in West Virginia, it is $255,000, and it says 43% of people can afford it. The California chart, I'm actually surprised that many people can afford the homes in California. What really did shock me was how expensive homes were in Wyoming. Like, I knew homes were expensive in Washington and California, especially Hawaii, but I did not know how much homes were in Wyoming until I started looking at it. There are a couple other states like Delaware who are over 50%. Maryland is over 50%. They are at 57%. And then the other state that was over 50% was Virginia at 54%. So these are home affordability in the United States. Do you think, based off your state, that these numbers are correct? So how much tax money gets taken out per paycheck? So this is going to be what the median income is after taxes, and this is going to be how much the taxes come out. So as you can see, the highest percentage is Hawaii with 26.7% of taxes coming out. And so the average after taxes is going to be about $57,200. And the smallest percentage is going to be Florida with 16.6% taxes coming out. And their take home after taxes is averaging about $44,400. My state of West Virginia is 18.7%. I feel like that is kind of in the lower end of some of the taxes that are taken out, but I'm completely okay with that. As you can see, you have these darker numbers are the higher taxes, Maryland and Hawaii, and then you have the dark pink, which are anything that's over 20% to 25%, and then the light pink is everything less than 20%. Like I said, Hawaii is the highest at 26.7, and it should never go higher than that. So, how much money gets taken out of your paycheck by taxes? A decade of population change. So we are looking at how counties changed in population from 2010 to 2020. I do know that there have been more people who have moved since 2020, but we will have to wait till the 2030 census to see those new numbers. All right, so green counties are counties that added population. Pink counties are counties that lost population. As you can see, some of the population, some of the counties that had the most population growth were King County, Seattle. You're going to have Clark County and Vegas, San Diego County, Riverside County, Maricopa County, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, San Antonio, Houston, the Wake County where Raleigh is, the county where Charlotte is, Orange County where Orlando is, and the Tampa area. Those are all counties that are going to grow. I do know that a lot of people are moving to Florida and Texas because of taxes and because of maybe political reasons. I also know people are moving to California because of high-paying jobs in tech. And the same thing with Seattle, high-paying jobs in the industries there. So people move for a lot of different reasons. When we look at the pink counties, people who have left, you've got Long Island, you've got the area of Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. These are counties where people are moving out of. They're not moving to them, they're moving out of them. So as you can see, a lot of the area here has some green pockets, a couple light pink, so that means they lost less people than the darker pink. And as you can see in the Northeast here, you're going to have a lot of population loss. Where I live in West Virginia, most of our state had population loss. You got a little green over here. And then the county I live in was kind of a whitish county. So we actually did grow a very little bit. So what did your county do? How does your county look on the map? Did they grow or did they lose population? All right, so what is the most common last name in your state? As you can see, the name Smith dominates the map. You're going to have Williams in Georgia. You're going to have Martinez in New Mexico, Garcia in California. You're going to have Johnson up here in like the upper Midwest states, along with Alaska. And you're going to have the last name of Lee in Hawaii. So what name dominates your state? So what is the most commonly spoken language other than English or Spanish in each state? So I thought some of these were really interesting. In 16 of the states, the most common language is German. So you see the German is like, it makes kind of like a circle here. It comes up in like Ohio and Indiana, down a little down south. You're going to have Tagalog, which is a native language of the Philippines, and that's going to be in California and Nevada. You're going to have the Navajo language in Arizona and New Mexico. We're also going to have French, which is going to be up here in New England, and then some in the South in West Virginia where I live. Our third language would be French. You're going to have Arabic up in Michigan. There is a high Muslim population there, so that does not surprise me at all. French Creole down here in Florida, which I figured like the Creole would be in South Carolina because I lived there for a year, and I met some people who did have that old Creole, still spoke some of the old Creole language. And then you're going to have Italian in Indiana, or not in Indiana, in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. You're going to have some other little things like Portuguese, Polish, Russian. The main one you're going to hear or see is going to be German or French. So what other language is spoken in your state? So when we look at world religions, it has the top religions, and then you have others and non-religious. So when you look at the world religion, the color that sticks out the most to you is going to be the purple, which is Christianity. Christianity is like 31% of the world. Of course, you have like North America is, most people are a Christian, a type of Christian. You're going to have Russia and most of Europe. You're going to have the bottom part of Africa, and then you're going to have this Oceania area over here. Islam is going to be next with about 25%, which is going to be the Middle East here, up into North Africa, and then some of the islands here are going to be the religion of Islam. Non-religious is going to be this purpley color here, which is going to be the country mainly of China and Japan. Of course, in China, they have really strict laws about religion. So there might be people there who are more religious, but they just aren't outspoken about it. So the next one is going to be the orange one, which is going to be Hinduism, which is mainly India and a couple of the countries that surround it. That's going to be about 15% of the population. And then you're going to have Buddhism, which is the red, which is going to be Southeast Asia and Mongolia. And then you're going to have some indigenous languages here in the Vietnam area, which is about 6% of the population. So then we're going to look at this really interesting map about cultural regions in America. So the United States is broken down into 6 regions: Pacific, Midwest, Northeast, Frontier, the South, and the Caribbean US or Caribbean, or however you say it. So you see the Pacific here is going to be over here. It's going to be broken down into 5 regions. Of course, some of them make sense, like Northern California, Southern California. We're going to go into the Midwest. We're going to skip over to here. You have Upper Midwest, Lower Midwest. You're going to have a Great Lakes region. So a lot of them are just, the names just make sense. And the Midwest is also going to be into 5 regions. You have the Northeast, which is into 6 regions. New England, upstate New York, NYC Metro. Those all make sense. Then we're going to go down to the Caribbean U.S., which you're going to have South Florida and Puerto Rico are going to be considered the Caribbean U.S. We're going to skip over to the Frontier, which has 6 subregions like Northern Great Plains right here, Southern Great Plains, Rocky Mountains. And then you're going to have the South. The South is going to have the most with 10 subregions. You're going to have like the Deep South, the Upper South, Southern Appalachia, which is where I live. You're going to have like the Rio Grande, The Mid-Atlantic South. So this is the biggest, maybe not, it's not the biggest region, but it's the region with the most sub-regions in it, which really makes sense to me because the South is so diverse and so different from one place to another. So what sub-region do you live in? I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment down below letting me know, were any of the maps interesting to you? Did you learn something new that you didn't know before? Let me know.